Welcome to this edition of BSW Tech Dive. I am John Lynch, Director of Business Development here at BSWUSA.com, broadcast supply worldwide. My guest today is Alexis Curtis, and we're going to be talking about her company that she founded, and she's the CEO, and it's called CSO. What does that stand for? Well, I can tell you it is not Corporate Steel Company of Orlando. It is also not the Chief Security Operation. It is, even better than both, Chief Swag Officer. Gotta love a name like that. Alexa Curtis, welcome to the program. And how did you come up with a name like that?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It goes live today, our partnership with you guys. So we're so thrilled. I wish I had a less or more fun story behind the name. Quite frankly, the name came because I was really at the end of my journey as an entrepreneur. I did not think I had it in me anymore. But about 2 years ago, I had this gut intuition that I should start making customized microphone covers. Long story short, I came up with the original name, which was called Cast Gear. And as ex-boyfriends do, one of my ex-boyfriends randomly was like, hey, what are you up to in life? And I was like, oh, like get out of my life. But he was also an entrepreneur. And I was like, this is the dumbest idea ever. And like, why am I even telling you? But I'm bored. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to make microphone covers. And he was like, what's the name? And I was like, Cast Gear. And I just remember he sent me one text message back that was like, that name is so stupid. Change it to Chief Swag Officer. And my sister, I was next to my sister and I said, Melissa, what do you think about this name? And she was like, it's so dumb. Then I went to her husband who was in the other room and I was like, do you guys like the name Chief Swag Officer? And he was like, that is the dumbest name I've ever heard. To this day, the best thing I ever did was get dumped and start this company.
Well, we're not going to endorse that idea, but the outcome certainly turned out well.
So exactly. It's amazing. And that's how I came up with the name.
Chief Swag Officer. And when you go to the BSW website or you go to the CSO website, you see that it's just launching now on BSW as we bring a little bit more of a national perspective, but we're talking microphone flags. We're talking about microphone covers, or as we call windscreens, but customized logos. So the type of product that you have really sets apart your company from anybody else, as far as your company being this radio station or this podcast or whatever it may be, but giving that real crisp identity right here where the microphone stands.
Exactly. I think that's what's really cool. And I think for us to be able to partner with such kind of a legacy brand, BSW, in this space and be able to, have a presence on a platform like you guys is so great. I think what's really interesting about the audio space is it's such an outdated market. Obviously, we've got these leading brands, Rode, Shure, et cetera, but the mic flag, the windscreen industry is so outdated. And so we really kind of have pioneered this next chapter of allowing people to brand their flags, allowing people to brand their windscreens through what we've done at Chief Swag Officer.
So we go into this, you can get customized microphone flags that'll fit on the back end of a microphone. You can get customized logoed windscreens or mic flags, as we call them, up in this area. So it just depends on the microphone and the setup that it has on a microphone stand as to which unit you do. And you've got a lot to choose from.
Yeah, when we kind of decided to work with you guys, we really worked with your team to go through so many SKUs, even products that we don't necessarily stock. There's certain microphones that are bestsellers at BSW that we had never even made flags for before. So we spent a lot of time last week in our facility with a lot of these newer microphones, with trying to figure out what the best way to make the flags was, et cetera. And so I'm excited about allowing Chief Swag to, continue to sell the products that our customers love the most, but also expose new products through what BSW really sells as top sellers.
Now, for a Chief Swag Officer, what's the typical lead time for somebody that's submitting an order for, let's say, 25 pieces, just to pick out a number, and they're going to be logoed, et cetera? What's the turnaround time for something like that?
What's really unique about Chief Swag Officer is we have the capability to do rush orders. So we have done, day of rush orders. One in particular I can think of that was like 20 or 25 windscreens for Amazon. That was our signature triangle style. I mean, they ordered, I think, as a rush in the afternoon, and by 8 p.m. we had someone delivering that product. Our standard time is usually
Wait,
like
wait,
7 to
wait, wait,
14
wait, wait,
days.
wait. You said it was ordered in the afternoon and delivered the same evening?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had an event in Spain that someone was getting on a plane for at like 4 a.m. And so that was one of our best examples of a rush order. So usually though, if it's like a rush shipment, you can order it by like our cutoff time and you can have it the next day or 2 days after. But most people end up doing, the standard orders unless it's a business, which is like 7 to 14 business days.
But we're not talking 7 to 14 months or weeks or anything,
No,
just a
just
couple of weeks
days.
at worst. Or if they have a rush order, it can be done in a hurry,
Yeah.
which is great
Yeah.
because there are something like mic flags, particularly, or screens and such that are logoed. That's usually not the first thing that a company is looking at. And then they come up, wait a minute, the show's in 2 days. We forgot about this. It happened a lot, I'll bet.
Exactly. It happens all the time. And that's, again, like what's really cool about the ability that we have to do so much of this really unique printing is we can get presented with a situation like that where someone has an event. I mean, even a wedding or something, but usually some form of a media-based event. And again, they forgot about it until end of day. And they're like, we need this in 2 days. And then, they come to us to fulfill it.
Excellent. Now, in the broadcast history, and I've been around at this side of the aisle in broadcasting for 33 years, and prior to that, 20 years on the air. But one thing about a lot of the businesses that we deal with here, they started out with an engineer who was looking for a product to do a certain thing, couldn't find it, made it himself or herself. And then
Yeah.
other people found out about it. Hey, can you sell one to me? Can you sell one to me? And then just little garage business grows into something substantial. What's your story here?
So I started Chief Swag Officer as an Etsy shop, and I really did have this gut intuition that there was something behind this brand. One of the main brands that sells one of our best sellers is called Rode, and originally, as many founders, experiences, I
By
was
the
trying
way,
to
let me
find.
interrupt for a second. It's one of our best sellers
Yeah,
too, Road. Yeah.
yeah. I know Rode, sure. So there's a lot of synergy between
Yes, that's
BSW,
another
between
one. Electro Voice,
between
that's
Chief
another
Swag.
one. Yep.
Yeah. And I could not figure out why I could not get my logo onto this cover. And so it took me like 6 months. I was like doing it all at home, and I started an Etsy shop. And then within the first few weeks is when I was like, wow, I mean, there was so much demand on Etsy, but I had never done anything in e-commerce before, never done anything in retail. And so I made some really strategic decisions to kind of go all in, give it a chance, see if this could be a fully fledged e-commerce business. Was our business going to be D2C? Was it going to be B2B? I wasn't really sure at the time. And so through every trial and error in the past year, we've come up with some really unique techniques for, printing onto a material like this was extremely challenging. People think sometimes, oh, you use stickers and you can't put a sticker onto foam. So,
No, that doesn't work. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I mean, it falls off very easily.
Now, if you go onto your website, it says Chief Swag Officer launches on BSW, expanding products nationwide. And then you scroll down a little bit further, woman owned. And you scroll down a little bit further, and it talks about their best sellers and such. But makes it simple because if you remember Chief Swag Officer, how could you forget that? But if you can't remember Chief Swag Officer, just remember CSO. Go to the BSW USA website, type in CSO, you got the whole group right there.
Yeah.
Makes it simple. And from a standpoint of, oh, here's something that nobody thinks about until later. Okay, I've got this new mic flag, or I've got this new windscreen for this product. And hey, I'm going to be putting this in, and it's going on the road a lot. How often do I need to replace it?
It really depends on how you take care of it. I will say that the overall timeline for a microphone flag could be years. We always say that depending on the settings, I mean, don't leave it in the sun, things like that. Sometimes the color can get affected if it's like indirect sunlight all day. But for the most part, I mean, 6+ months minimum. I would say with our foam covers or microphone windscreens, a lot of people don't take care of these properly because it's really hard.
No.
You'll throw it in your bag, and though it does bounce back, we do find people reorder a lot more of these than
By the way,
our mic
you're
flags.
describing me, so I understand.
Yeah. We're really focused right now on making some form of a bag for industry people, for creators to be able to hold this in their, thing. But right now, yeah, it's, or you're losing it. It's like you throw it somewhere. But usually at least 6 months if you do take care of the product.
Well, and these probably are really nice form fitting, so they don't just easily come off if the wind picks up or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
CSO, Chief Swag Officer. I love the name. Great talking with you today, Alexa. And thank you for joining with us, not only at BSW and BSWUSA.com, but here on Tech Dive. Great to introduce your product to our viewership around the world. And thank you for participating today. Alexa Curtis has been our guest, the founder and CEO of Chief Swag Officer. Just remember Chief Swag Officer, or if you just remember CSO on the BSW website, that's all you need. Thank you, Alexa, for joining us. I'm John Lynch. Thank you for joining us on this edition of BSW Tech Dive.